Okay, are we ready for episode 2 of the Parc'd podcast?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of the Parc'd podcast with me, Alice.
With me, Celeste.
Naomi.
And Katie.
If you're watching on the YouTube, you might notice that Naomi is in fact an array of different images. Naomi moved to university this week. And apparently since moving to university, her webcam stayed at home in Wales because she's half green, half black and white, and there's 2 extra Naomis in the background that are purple.
Great.
We can't fix it yet. Well, we haven't been able to fix it tonight. Hopefully Naomi's supposed to be back next week, but you do have the wonderful voice of Naomi.
Yes, of course.
Another disclaimer, if any of us sound like shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We've had, I think collectively, each of us, I don't know about, I'm assuming Naomi has as well, have had a long weekend. Me, Celeste and Kate have all been together this weekend because we were meant to go to the football.
Yeah.
Football got cancelled. So we went to go watch Monza at a cute little pub bar thing. And yeah, it was great fun. We had great
It
fun.
was really fun.
It was really good.
It looked fun.
good.
Yeah, we turned up hungover. And then severely hungover.
Severely.
Drank some more. Bon appetit.
I may or may not have broken into a hotel room, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I said that's
okay,
what we
yep,
start with.
happened.
Katie broke into our hotel room.
It was
Wow.
scary,
So-
honestly.
Me and Celeste booked a hotel room at King's Cross, right? There are 2 travel lodges well, there's technically 3 travel lodges near King's Cross, but 2 that are reasonably close by. And we had Kelsey and Josh come stay with us because me, Celeste, Kelsey and Josh all went out, Saturday night, as you do. And we'd come back and me and Kelsey must have fallen asleep about 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah. It was when WEC was starting.
Yeah.
That's where you fall.
I remembered you and Josh watching WEC at the end of the bed.
Yeah, we were.
So then we'd fallen asleep because we were very drunk. And we were meant to be meeting Katie at King's Cross Station at 9 o'clock in the morning to collect her from when she got in, go get McDonald's breakfast, come back and get ready, right? Sounds simple enough. I woke up at like 17 minutes past 9. I was the first one to wake up. Okay? Luckily enough though, Katie had actually, in fact, her train got delayed. So she was only then getting in as I woke up. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Katie. I can be down there in 10 minutes. I've just woken up. And she was like, it's fine. I'll get the breakfast and I'll bring it to you. And I was like, calm. Let me know when you're outside because I'll come down and get you. So I woke up Celeste, Kelsey, Josh, and said, what do you want from McDonald's? Sent the text off to Katie. Laid back down. Head is screaming. I think I'm still drunk. So I'm pretty sure Celeste and Josh went straight back to sleep.
Yeah, I saw you said something about McDonald's, and I was just like, yeah, something is fine, and then I was gone again.
Yeah. And I just remember Kelsey laid there. So I laid down next to it, and I think I might have been scrolling on TikTok or something, and then I was like, shit, Katie. So I messaged Katie and said, by the way, we are at the Royal Scot Travel Lodge. I can say that now because we're not there. So Katie does not respond. So I'm like, shit. Okay, maybe she's just busy and waiting at McDonald's, right? So I just lay back down and I'm like, Katie will message when Katie's ready. And then we hear our hotel room door go. Bearing in mind, when we'd turned up, when we turned up, we told them there was only 2 people staying. Okay, so we're now panicked that the cleaning people are coming in. Josh and Celeste are laid on the floor, kipped out under towels.
Yeah.
And we're laid. I'm still wearing the dress from the night before, right? The door goes. I shot out of my bed.
I've never seen Alice that fast.
I look at the door, and in walks Katie with a bag of McDonald's.
Like an angel.
So
If you have ever been to a travel lodge, you need a key card to get through one door, a key card to get through another door, and then a key card to actually get into our room. Katie is walking into our room with the bag of McDonald's.
So I walked to reception and I was like, oh, I've had to go I went and got McDonald's breakfast, but I left my key card up in the room. I was like, I can phone my friend and get her to come down to like let me through and like bring down the key card. I was like, but is there any chance that I can get like another one done? And she was like, yeah, sure. She was like, what's the room number? So obviously he said the room number, and she was like, oh, so like, who's it staying in the room? So I said your guys' names, and she was like, yeah, I'll get you a new one. Literally handed me
That
over this
easy.
room card.
That's
In I go, up the
dangerous.
lift, and then into the
Yeah.
room. And it annoyed me because it would have probably been better if I'd have actually got through your door the first try. But no, the key card wouldn't work the first one. So I just made it even worse by
Rattling.
doing it the
Yeah.
first.
So yeah, so Katie just broke in. But you
But
know,
I came in very McDonald's, so
yeah. So we all
Yeah,
laid in
you-
bed,
you
ate
were-
McDonald's, got up, got ready, and yeah, went and watched the race. Went to Bat and Ball in Stratford. If you ever want somewhere to watch the race, Bat and Ball in Stratford
It's
is a great
really
place.
nice.
They'd
I think
moved
that's-
locations because me, Katie, and Kelsey had gone for Katie's birthday, back in the June, to watch. Which race did we watch?
Well, not that interesting. Seems.
hang on, let me have a look.
Canada.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I think it was Canada.
Yeah, it was Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Canada, and then I was like, no. Or is it,
Canada.
what was the one
That's-
before
It
Canada?
was your birthday.
I was
No,
gonna
because
say
Canada was in
Spain,
the
but-
evening.
Azerbaijan.
Might have been
Yeah, it was an
Baku.
evening race.
Was it Baku? Is Baku
I'll have a look.
is Baku earlier than normal?
No, it was a sort of evening race. I remember.
It must have been.
because-
It must have been
yes,
at
it's
1 p.m.
Canada.
It was a 1 p.m. race
Yeah, so it wouldn't be Canada because
Wait.
Canada's
because
evening.
we arrived just as the place was like pretty much
Right,
open.
let me just look at the damn calendar.
No, it was Azerbaijan because it was the weekend. It was the week before because you was working my birthday
Yeah.
weekend. So yeah, it was Baku.
Yeah, it has to be then.
Has to be Baku.
Yeah, 10th to 12th.
Yes, that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
So but they moved locations literally the week after we'd went. So we went to the new location.
Mm.
And so we were a bit like, oh, because last time we got this cute little room with a sofa, but we got in this like cute little like round sofa place. It was super cute. Had the TV like where we were sat on one side of the sofa, we could see it. Where like Josh and Chris and Jordy were sat the other side of the sofa, they could see a TV behind us as well. Like literally anywhere you look, you can get TV. Like me and Celeste smoke, so when we went downstairs to have a cigarette, because you know, especially when you're drinking, if you smoke, you know. I do not promote smoking. Do not smoke. If we went downstairs, you could literally stand outside to have a smoke and still watch the race, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And even as you're going down the stairs, you can literally see the race everywhere. You can hear the race, like you don't miss out on anything, which I think is great. So if you're ever looking for a place to go watch the race, Bat and Ball in Stratford is the place to go. It's free as well,
It's really nice.
and you just order your food to the table and drinks to the table, and turns up, and you don't have to move. But yeah, so I, for some reason, I've come home and I cannot stop sneezing. I think this is the longest I've gone without sneezing. Literally.
Nice.
My nose
Even.
hurts. Hurts.
And I'm just dying.
Fresh as flu.
Woo-hoo.
No, I haven't even been out yet.
Good luck with the freshest flu. Good luck with it.
No,
It
I'm
is-
prepared. Wait.
It is a real thing, regardless
it's
of
all
what people
hands.
say. Freshest
It's
flu
all
is a real
hands.
thing.
Hands.
You know that we
You can't see us.
you.
They can't see Naomi. Actually, is Naomi going to let me put half Shrek Naomi in for this one? Oh, she's showing us lens.
Basically, I have a lot of lens it.
4
So-
boxes to be precise.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot.
But yeah, because we've had a busy weekend, we can't discuss all realms of motorsport this weekend because I'm pretty sure. Well, we watched all of the F1 and portions of the feeder series.
Yeah. We try to watch
I-
this.
We watched IndyCar
Yeah, I mean, I
outside of
watched
the
the
pub.
first one. I watched IndyCar, yeah.
I think I'm
I
too
follow that.
emotional to talk about IndyCar. I stopped watching after a period of time.
It hurt. It did
which
hurt.
we will get to that bit. However,
I watched an hour of WAC, but then I fell asleep.
I watched obviously all of like Monza basically. I kind of watched all of Indy. I was doing that while drinking, so I was just a bit heartbroken after what happened. I did stop watching. Well, I didn't stop watching. It was there. I just stopped paying attention.
Yeah, fair enough.
however,
And yeah,
yeah. So I feel like this is the best way to start off the weekend. Is this weekend? This podcast is Saturday when I finished work. I could have gone straight through to, well, I couldn't have gone straight through to London because train cancellations. But when I finally got all my replacement buses to a point where I could get a train through to London, I detoured and went to Stansted Airport to pick up Celeste. To preoccupy ourselves on the hour train from Stansted Airport to London, we were on TikTok, right? And anybody that loves F1 and has TikTok needs to fucking know about this man, because
you have seen him.
I
Definitely.
religiously watch this man's TikToks.
Mm.
It's Oli Swift. It's Oli
Yeah.
Swift. Oli Swift
Amazing.
Big up
F1.
Oli Swift.
OLI for Oli Swift F1. If you don't follow
Really
him,
good.
go follow him. Absolute icon. We spent our entire hour playing his Guess Who's.
You watch him a lot.
Literally all of his Guess Who's and quickfires. So this section here, Ollie, it's dedicated to you, because
Good for you.
me and Celeste said it would be good fun
That's so much fun.
if we
Yeah.
had a little segment where we did like a Guess Who or a quickfire. Okay.
Yeah.
So
God.
I've rallied up a Guess Who. Okay, using his same rules. You've got 6 guesses. Okay. I'm not going to tell you until the end. So you need to
Yeah,
guess
right.
someone for each one. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if you're still guessing the same person over and over again because you're adamant it's them. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Same rules, championship points, obviously, as you would for P1 to P6, okay?
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
So,
I'm
I have so much fun.
Okay.
Wait. So are we doing it like as a whole or each? Do you get what I mean? Like,
You can work
Yeah,
together
yeah.
if you
so
want to
we're
work
comparing.
together.
We're comparing.
You can confer.
No, I want to. No, we're being competitive.
Oh,
I don't need this.
No, but you're literally a walking Wikipedia of like numbers and stats. That's
Wait.
unfair.
Oh, I
So
like
I'm
never
that.
gonna beat
I'll
that.
take that as a
If
compliment.
hang
Yeah,
on,
no, definitely a compliment.
hang on.
Depends what it is though, because
Keep on
like
talking though.
I think with Formula like 1 I'm good, but like the history of Formula 1 I'm not so good.
Well, it's a guess who.
Okay.
So if you're good with drivers or
But then like
personnels or anyone
Yeah.
F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7 related, you're fine.
Right, we'll just try. Okay, competitive. I
Okay.
Can I just say I've pulled a card? Can I claim my 8 and make my mate Celeste?
Yeah, all right. Katie and I are mates,
Yeah.
so it's me and Katie up
Cool.
against Naomi.
Oh,
We wanted to go as a group, but you are competitive, so then we pull all the strings.
don't worry, Naomi. I'll be on your
Be
team.
competitive then.
I'll be on your team, Naomi.
No, because you did the question.
So actually, Parc'd fam broke up after an incident
Yeah.
in the second podcast.
We'll just do it together then.
No,
You already
wanted to
laid
go
your
together.
bed, Naomi. You have to sleep in it.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So,
Alright.
so
Oh,
mo-
I'm stressed.
motorsport. Guess who? Okay.
Yeah.
Clue number 1. This
Mhm.
person started karting in 2004.
Okay. So sort of newer generation.
How quick can we like say?
You can
You
start
have to guess
guessing.
one for each
yeah.
round, I think.
Yeah. If you really have no clue, then you can like nil
Okay, so
point, no name.
2004 started karting. So that person's
Mhm.
18 now. Oh no, wait. Started karting.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
If you start karting
Yeah.
at like 5 or 6, around that,
George.
then the person is like 23, 24 now.
Yeah,
George.
I'd say it's sort of one of the
that's like-
Twitch quartet slash.
Yeah,
George.
that
Around.
generation.
Yeah,
Sort of.
I think it
Okay, I
also
say-
include him.
George.
Was it
I'd
no?
say. Oh no, Lando going pretty late in karting, I think. I'm going with
George.
Alexander Albon, just for this round.
Yeah, let's go, Alex.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go, Alex.
Clue number 2. They won 8 karting championships before they moved to single seaters.
Ooh, that's a lot of karting.
Like, no. I was like, can I cheat? No.
No, you cannot start googling.
No, not googling it. But what if I like had stuff in my room that I could look
No.
at?
No,
No.
there's no cheating in this.
Okay, that's fine.
Right, I might want to switch because I don't think Alex did that much karting. I think he moved to single cities pretty soon.
You do realise that drivers will compete in like 5 karting championships a year.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say
I don't really keep up with the karting stats, to
Ooh.
be fair. Oh shit.
I have a different person in mind now because he had a really good karting thing. And I can think of Nick DeVries
Ooh.
because
Oh,
he
of
was
course
very
you
good
would.
in karting.
Really? course she would. Points on debut. Of course she'd make her guess who Nick
Oh,
is.
No, I wouldn't, because that would be
unbelievable,
bait.
man.
I'm not bait.
Right. Let's just keep Alex as our pick. 'Cause
Shouldn't
I don't
have-
know. This is
okay,
not,
I know Nick.
know.
I'm going Hendrik.
Hendrik de Vries.
Okay,
Hendrik
number
de
3. This person took their first single-seater championship in 2014.
Right.
So, like, is it like won it?
Won their first single-seater championship in 2014.
Then it's not Nick. Oh, it could still be Nick, but Nick did not
Did he
have
do
as good as a
Formula
feeder
Renault?
series thing. Yeah,
He did right.
I don't.
But Nick is old. He's 27.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
27 is not
Yeah, but he could-
old. That's so
single
offensive.
seaters.
I'm sorry, no, but
I'm not going to be called old again for a second
But
podcast
no.
in a row.
no.
Second
not-
week in a
I'm
row.
not
Yeah,
having it.
I'm going back to like George and Lando
Yeah.
George.
because
I'm
obviously
going
like
George again.
British Formula 4.
Going
Like,
George again.
Celeste.
Yeah. Somewhere in that generation, I think.
Should
as
just go
well.
George.
Yeah, let's say George for now.
All three
Yeah.
of you at George now. Interesting. Okay, number 4. This person finished 6th during their rookie year of GP3 before being promoted to FIA Formula 2.
So it's not George.
Yeah,
It
it's not George. 'cause he
could
did
be
that.
Nick.
Still could
Oh.
be Nick. So it's before George's season. So it's not Lando. It's not George. Alex
Wait, say the
didn't
clue
do it
again.
well.
Can you say the clue again?
Yeah. This
say
person
it again, please.
finished 6th during their rookie year of GP3 before being promoted to FIA Formula 2.
Yeah, so that's
Okay,
the
so
year
it was
change.
no, it's not. He didn't get promoted to GP2. He got promoted
No,
to
yeah,
F2.
that's the whole thing. So that's the year it changed, I think, from GP2.
That's 29.
I think it has to
18.
be someone in the season before George, Lando, Alex, because they all been in the same. So then I would still go back to like someone that's
Why did I just had in my head? I was just thinking back to a very bad race for Alice's point of view, and the fact that they were saying that Nicholas Latifi raced so many times in Abu Dhabi because he was literally doing GP2 and GP3.
Oh yeah, because he was in Nick's season. That's true.
Yeah,
He was in the championship with
So,
Nick for Abu.
that was just one. You know, like
Well,
when
look
someone
at-
just comes
look
into
at
your head
his
and you're like, I don't even know
face.
what.
Look at his
But did he
face.
kart? Did he do karting?
Yeah, he did do karting.
Yeah.
Look
Okay.
at his
I'm gonna go with Nicholas Latifi.
I'm
Wait,
joining
wait,
my mate
when-
here.
Will you
Yeah.
tell us when we get the last clue?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll
It's
tell you
6.
after the last clue.
When's the
Yeah.
last clue?
You've got
There's
2
6.
more.
Okay, I'll just go Nick for now. I
Wait,
don't
Which
think it is.
Nick? There are multiple Nicks. You can't just say the name Nick.
Enrique.
Nick.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. This
Alright.
person has competed in Formula 1, Formula E, WEC, and the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
No, it's Nick. Or no,
No,
it's
because
Nick.
there's a lot more.
No,
There's
it's
just
Nick.
I just
how
listed
old
off
is
4
the
of the
Costa
things.
then?
It's Nick.
Big up the Costa.
That's
We
a
love.
lot.
We love.
I love
Our
Antonio
sport.
so
We
much.
have a
Wait, so-
special
wait,
place
look,
in our
look
heart
who I
for
brought with me
Felix
to
da
uni.
Costa.
For anyone wondering, Nami's just held up a photo of her and, held up a photo of Antonio Felix da Costa.
Yeah. It's a
Okay,
signed
Nick
photo, by
is
the way.
a
It's not
good.
just a
Nick
photo.
is a very good shout.
Yeah.
Maybe like I mean I was gonna say Pierre, but I don't think Pierre's competed in Le Mans.
No, he hasn't.
No.
Neither in WEC.
What about
Oh, WEC. Okay, Alice. So if you say WEC, do you mean just a race or a full season?
she said
I-
WEC and 24 Hours of Le Mans?
Yeah,
That's
I don't
what
know.
I'm saying, love.
Yeah, that's why I'm not asking. Is it like
Okay,
WEC
well, I'm
within a
telling
full
you, they've
season?
competed in WEC and they've also competed in the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Yeah, but that's the same thing.
Is Le Mans?
Okay, well,
That's
Le Mans is technically WEC
not
is Le
everyone
Mans.
not everyone that's competed in the 24 Hours of Le Mans has competed in other WEC.
no, that's true. But it's like saying
But if
he
you
did
in WEC,
Monaco and
you
he
don't
did
want
Formula 1.
Other WEC. and 24 Hours of Le Mans. This
But if
person's
you could
competing in
wait.
Formula 1, Formula E, other WEC, and 24 Hours of Le Mans.
I forgot about Formula E. Alright, I go with Nick. Yeah.
Ooh, wait. Stoff.
Did he do?
Oh,
How late did
fucking
Stoff
do
start?
I love that you lot are all working together now after like declaring like.
But did he do Le Mans?
I don't.
Yeah,
Did no.
he won Le Mans this year. Wait, did he? I know Antonio.
this
No,
year.
he didn't. No. Because Antonio won with his other teammate.
Yeah.
But he did compete in Le Mans last year
Alright.
with
okay.
Antonio and
Big up
I
Stoff.
can't remember whose other teammate was.
Big ups.
Sean Galale.
He was in Nick's season as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's so many options all of a sudden now.
Are you
Oh,
ready
God.
for the final clue?
No.
Louis Delatros.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Oh, no, he's
No, he
not
didn't
on
compete in
F1.
F1.
Are
Yeah,
you
no,
ready?
Yeah.
Oh, F1.
There you go.
In their only race in Formula 1, they outqualified their teammate, took points, and finished as driver of the day.
Oh god. Ladies and
Oh.
gentlemen, please pull up the YouTube if you don't have that yet. Oh my god. So for everyone who doesn't know
for
what's
those-
going on, this is so Nick de Vries is from Friesland, and this is their anthem, and Alice is now playing their anthem with their Frisian flag. And she looks really
And for
happy.
those who can't see me, which is everyone, I am heavily shaking my head.
She actually knows the words.
Okay.
An embarrassment.
I just thought
An
that was,
embarrassment.
the disrespecting the homeland. Anyway, I just thought that was the best way to segue in to Formula 1 in Monza this weekend.
That was so fun.
It's me. Oh, knowing her, she's gonna do like different points on debut. She's like, no, that's
Yeah.
too late.
He was literally the first person I said that. Well, other than George,
There he
Yeah,
is.
you were quick on this one.
Yeah.
because it was Effie. I think that's why I knew.
This is Nick de
Good
Vries'
Effie.
signature for anyone that's seeing the YouTube.
To be fair, I didn't know Nick that did that money karting championship.
Yeah, no, he was really good in karting.
He got like
that's
3
why.
in 1 year.
But he was quite like. I mean, obviously, he wasn't a disappointment. He won F2, but his feeder series run was really disappointing compared to his karting run. But he was so
Yeah.
good in karting because he was small. He's like Lando, like
He
just
is
small.
pretty small.
So that's why.
Yeah.
So he is.
Big up Nick de Vries.
Big up Nick de Vries.
Big up
Okay,
Nick.
so that, brings us into the first point on Naomi's wonderful list that she's right now. Alexander Albon. Okay, first hand. Nick de Vries was announced that he was doing FP1 with Aston Martin this weekend. He hopped in the Aston Martin car, competed in FP1, called it a day. Said, great, I've done my F1 for the weekend. And then it was announced that Alexander Albon has appendicitis and needed immediate surgery, so was not able to compete this weekend. Everyone here at Parc'd does wish that Alex
We
Albon has a
send
Yeah.
safe
best
and
A
You know,
really good recovery.
steady recovery.
Better. I mean, we all know what's happened
Yeah,
onwards
especially
from that
after
as
the
well.
news.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he had complications with his anaesthetic, so he's actually went into respiratory failure, which is quite big, and it's debatable whether he's going to be back for Singapore. But that's not the important thing right now. The important thing is that Alex is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
It was upsetting to not see Alex, but he did have someone wonderful step in place for Nick de Vries. The FIA Formula E, well, ABB, FIA, both technically, but ABB Formula E 2020,
Not the title.
2021.
That's not the title. That's not the title.
FIA Formula E? Don't make me do the whole thing.
No,
Go on,
no.
what is it?
ABB FIA Formula E World Championship.
I said that one. That was the second one I
No,
said.
you didn't.
I did. Did
No,
I not?
You did. You did. Nope, you didn't say the World Championship.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
She was getting to that.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it in the way that Jack Nicholls says it, or it doesn't count.
Either way, the
He
Formula
won Formula E.
the Formula E, the first ever Dutch world champion,
Yeah.
competed side by side with the other Dutch world champion. They started on the grid together, started side by side, same row on the grid together. Called it a day, finished in the points, got driver of the day. Couldn't get out the
Nice.
car, but
Oh,
Bless
yeah.
him.
Poor man needed help getting out of that car.
Yeah.
He was his little hand.
It's just the way Pierre walks over to the car 610 and goes, "Great job, son," and then just like walks away while Nick's literally complaining down the mic like, "I can't get out the car."
I think it's insane to see how much grip he had on that car, because I watched some of his onboards back, and he is so steady with that car to the corners, where I think is insane for someone who just jumped in, did like a few FPs and quali, and
Well, I mean, Saturday morning, he was having a coffee in the Mercedes hospitality thing. He literally got the phone call, sitting down, having a coffee, and was like, I could go down to the other side of the paddock.
Just jumped between teams all weekend.
All weekend long, yeah.
All weekend long.
It was everywhere.
I don't blame him. If you get the opportunities, you take the opportunities while they're there.
And to be fair, Williams is, they were expected to have a good weekend in Monza. But I think, like, genuinely, you look at his performance compared to Latifi, I don't think there's an argument that he should be in that team next year.
100%. 100%.
No argument.
No argument whatsoever. Nick de Vries deserves to be in Formula 1. But my point still stands. I have a very redeeming point, because people like to say that Nick de Vries deserves better than a Formula E seat. While he was in Formula E, he was in one of the best seats in the championship cars. He was able to win a world championship with them. He won multiple Formula E races, and at the time last year, when people were saying he deserves the Williams seat over the seat in Formula E that he has, obviously he doesn't have a seat in Formula E at the moment, I completely disagree with that, because that's pedestaling Formula 1 above Formula E, which are both great racing series. However, he was in a seat to win, and he was able to win. Whereas if he was in the Williams last year, he would not be winning anything. He'd be barely fighting for points. This year, they've done a lot better.
We are a Formula E loving podcast. If you don't like Formula E,
Yeah. So there was a lot of good things that came from the weekend. There were a lot of bad things that come from the weekend. Especially our man who came to Monza for his last race at Monza after he won his first ever race there.
First ever podium.
And sadly,
everything.
The young kid in Toro Rosso.
Yeah.
Did so well.
Sad to see.
And it was
so heavily depressed.
Yeah. He was just hoping for better in September.
But you know what made me also sad was Dan DNFing, and I know we're talking about Seb right now, but for all we know, this could be Dan's last one as well.
You were like, Dan, and I was like, Dan ticked himself in the sport. Because my brain is still like wired to Formula E right now.
Alex Jakes mentioned Dan's name this weekend, and I was like, oh yeah, like I forgot he was in F2.
But we all knew Daniel Ricciardo was DNFing.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Max Verstappen will DNF next year.
Well, me and Celeste at this point, we were sat there after the race, and I was like looking through my Instagram, and it was like, oh, so Charles finished 2019 and he won it, the iconic. He wins in Spa, he wins in Monza. Charles Leclerc's the winner of the Italian Grand Prix. I missed out the number, but hey ho. And then obviously Pierre, my man, my favourite driver, 2020. It was a big race for him. Like, his win, obviously dedicating it to Antoine and everything. It's one of those ones that the photos on the podium pulls at your heartstrings a lot. Many tears have been spent on that photo. He obviously didn't finish 2021. And Danny Rick won 2021. And very poignantly, and keeping with the curse, he did not finish this season. So roll on 2023 Monza. I'd like to see that DNF next year.
I can't wait.
It's just... Monza is normally so good, and the race was so good, and it was so nice watching.
Monza's
like Charles, it was just the way Charles was actually chasing down Max. He was setting fastest, faster. You could see the time was going down, and then the safety car. I'm just impressed they learned how to follow their rules this time. And that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I like, as much as no one wants to see a race under the safety car, but it's the rules. Personally, I've never found an issue with it entering under the safety car. It happens. You've got to prepare for anything in Formula 1. And that's that is one of the any things. And, you know, people saying, oh, but it's not good to watch. And it's like, no, but would you rather...
I would have
something
rather
like-
they'd been to red flag it.
Yeah, I have to agree.
I think
if
there
you
should
want
be a
to-
ruling in the thing that if there is an accident that occurs, there is less than 10 laps to the end of the
Yeah.
race, and it's going to take more than, say, 8 laps to
It wasn't
fix.
supposed to.
If they even think for a slightest, bearing in mind that car was stuck on a pretty dangerous
Off
part
on
of the track.
It was off
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, and
I
not to
genuinely think they
mention-
should have red flagged it to at least
Anyway.
continue the race going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I
also,
think they
like,
should
I
have
mean,
done
I think we forget the circumstances of Japan at 2014 as well, because that, you know, you have that tractor on track, and even under the safety car, they're going fast, and it's not right.
It's the way
And
they
we've
start
seen it
doing
in Formula E
something.
this year as well.
Yeah.
Because if something happens, if somehow someone loses control of their car, it is disastrous. It should have been a red flag.
I
Because
think that is a discussable topic though, because then I think we'll have a lot of red flags coming. If you once you, I get your point. Obviously, I get your point.
But like,
But I think it's difficult to then we're gonna have a lot of red flags.
that close to the end of a race, especially when it's in what can be a very, very dangerous place. Like, if a
Yeah.
car is off the track, fine. Don't. Like, it's not as... When the car is dead on track and you're having
Yeah.
to put people onto the track when there are cars still going round, I just think it should be red flagged.
Yeah,
Because
You
it's
know, I
dangerous.
also, like-
They don't get paid to put their lives at risk like that.
true.
and
They
you know,
don't get paid
also
anymore.
we didn't get common red flags until the 2020 season, and I think we kind of forget about that. I think it was either like Monza 2020 or Mugello 2020 was the first time we got like red flags since I think it was Baku 2018
Yeah,
or
true.
2016,
Mhm.
and we kind of forget about that. And I think in a way it's good that they're using them more, because you know there's now you can make the call of, oh, that should be a red flag, and then maybe a couple of laps later when they've assessed the situation they have made it a red flag. But I don't know, I think with the F1 it was a mistake.
It's a difficult situation. I would love to see like some sort of rule where we at least have the race finish in a racing condition.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow with like extra laps or red flags or anything, it would be nice if they can
The
get
thing
something
is-
in.
Is they still kind of repeated the season, like the last season of the race last year, because
It
when
was the exact same.
they were trying
No,
to pick Max
I don't
up on the
know,
front. No, they did, because they said they let through half of the lapped cars, but left the 2 lapped cars between Max and Charles. There was 2 lapped cars that should have gone past the safety car, but they kept between Max and Charles. If they like let them 2 go and then said, okay, we're going to add an extra lap on, like they do in Formula E when you sit there and like you have like the yellow
Yeah.
flag and the safety car, they add the time on at the end. They should add on a certain amount of laps, because I understand there's the whole fuel thing, but then that should work into their strategy of, well, if there is a red flag or a safety car, we've got to work on our fuel consumption for those extra laps. Like it adds something a bit more to the strategy.
To be
just-
fair, I didn't know that happened.
Well,
Yeah, sorry, Celeste. It gives them
Yeah.
something to practice.
So this is a Ferrari
just-
fan for
yeah.
anyone listening.
Yeah.
Horrible.
And anyone watching, you can see that very clearly.
Can you? Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I guess
actually.
there are
We
some
were
things.
stood outside of the pub on Sunday after the race, so we'd gone to a pub after, and we'd gone outside, and this was when the IndyCar had started, and so I set it up on our phone, and this man approached us outside and was just talking to us. Right, he's Italian, and he just looked at Celeste and he was like, "I can tell what team you support." She literally
I was
Ferrari
fully-
hat on, Ferrari coat on, Ferrari shirt on, Ferrari flag on.
everything.
Yeah.
We had
The
whole
man
thing
didn't even
going
care
on.
for Ferrari. He was really a fake Italian.
No. Yeah. I actually think he was fake Italian. Like, I'm not joking.
He was speaking to you in Italian and correcting your Italian.
Yeah, but no, but his Italian wasn't correct. That's the thing.
Yours was just wrong.
Yeah, how do you know yours wasn't wrong?
Because I have my lessons. Like I know my Italian.
Yeah, but this is the same as like Geordie's had lots of English lessons and he still likes to tell me my English is wrong.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. Italy have some dialects and things
Yeah,
like that,
exactly.
but not as much as what you have in England.
England,
It's not that different.
England.
Stop.
Anyway, back to F1.
Talking of Italians, I like how Naomi's put on here, amazing Tifosi again. However, I don't know if any of you guys have heard the drama.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did hear.
Which, the one point I would like to make, right, and I don't want the comments being like, typical LH fan, ha ha ha, because I'm not. I'm pretty neutral on most grounds. Like, I will happily stand and say Max deserved to win the championship. Not the way it was agreed, and pretty much most Max fans I speak to will say not the way it happened. But he did deserve the championship. He raced incredibly all year. He deserved to win the championship. The Max fans coming out and saying it's so rude of the Tifosi to stand and boo Max during his interviews, during his win on the podium. We should stop booing in the sport. Not most, okay, incorrect word there. A lot of Max fans,
A portion of.
literally booed Lewis the exact same way last season. It's just something that's come accustomed to the sport, is booing drivers. And
if you look back in the sport, it's been happening since forever.
Yeah.
I know everyone absolutely adores Sebastian Vettel now, but the hate the man got when he was in his prime time, he got booed every single podium he got.
Like
it's not something
in the eyes of the Tifosi at the time, they were watching their man in their car, chasing him down and missing out on the win. They're going to boo. It's the same that would have happened if Charles had won in Netherlands. Like, they would have booed Charles the exact same way. And I don't agree with booing, but that's not going to stop it. And, you know, that bit complaining about the, like, you know, Tifosi booing, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The not so very nice comments to female fans at Monza. That I don't agree with. That I will stand my foot down.
That was
I don't know if there was like you guys for this, but fans apparently threw things like on track while the cars were going past.
Sounds like Sandport.
No, at Monza.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like they're very.
Yeah.
The way last week we're like, oh yeah, the Tifosi would never do this at Monza, and now it's like, you know, we take back what we said last week.
We were wrong. But to be honest, like I've seen that, and apparently, like they actually cause damage to some of the cars because you know the speeds they're going.
Yeah.
But you know, we all love the sport, and I think trying to throw things on track, and you know, I'm sure Celeste, you saw the stuff they were throwing at Zandvoort. It's ridiculous. We love this sport, and I love Monza. My dream is to go to Monza.
Mine was until I saw the TikToks.
Yeah, and you know when you watch from TV, the passion that's there seems amazing. But then, you know, things like that, it's stupid. You know, people need to grow up.
The grandstands had like this weird vibe around them. I've seen a lot of videos where like Tifosi took Red Bull hats.
Yeah,
told Max and Red Bull fans to not be in the stands or to not wear certain kind of shirts, and you could see in the video that those people were actually really uncomfortable. Like, you obviously sometimes have some banter. I tell Alice that Mercedes is shit, even though that's not what I think. But
and I tell Celeste that her strategists are the greatest thing that's ever happened to the sport. So
yeah, so a bit of banter and a bit of joke, that's fine. But those people were actually being really uncomfortable, and the
being harassed,
being really mean. Yeah, they're really
harassment is
really mean.
It is harassment.
Harassment has become a big thing in the sport, and it needs to like
so rapidly
stop.
There's so much of it. Yeah. Like, what I always thought about, like, if you compare football to Formula One, football has always had sort of that dividing, you know, like the fans are always divided; they're never together in the stadium. But with Formula One, that we had all the fans like mixed up. You had Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren. Everyone was in the same stand, watching the same race and having a fun time. And now that seems to be like there's dividing now, and there's actually people being harassed.
It is just the
Which is
bad
good.
eggs of Formula One that are causing that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's definitely not
No.
because it's like the same with So I went to Silverstone last year, 2021, and obviously when Max went into the wall, there were people saying that there were people cheering and like whatever. We were at Luffield and literally not a single person cheered around near us. Everyone was kind of like, ooh. And I saw Mercedes fans who were stood near Red Bull fans literally like tapping on the shoulder and going like, are you alright? Like, it's a big crash, are you okay? So it's definitely just a case there are like some really bad eggs and they should be not allowed at a track.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See,
No,
I
agree with
hadn't,
you.
and like even when I was at Silverstone, I was like waiting outside the toilets for my family, and there were like these drunk, but still it's irresponsible. I think I'm not sure whether they were Lewis fans or just people attending the Grand Prix, talking to this Max fan and being like, "Why do you like him? Like, why?" Like, fully harassing. And I was sat there like, "What is happening?" Because, as you said, we all sit together in Formula One. There's no team divide, and I like it like that because we have a passion for our sport, and I don't want it to be separate.
It takes
Like
literally 5 seconds out of your day to be kind to somebody.
Absolutely. We all love
Like
the same sport.
Yeah, like Celeste.
Yeah.
Your main man is very attractive.
Thank you. Yes.
That's the nicest thing I can say.
Oh, alright. Hold on, never mind.
Never mind. Treat people with
Never
meanness.
However,
Joking.
do you know what wasn't attractive? The Minions.
Oh, the yellow. See,
was
I'm not
interesting.
having a big problem with it. I actually quite liked it.
You know what?
I like the black underlayer. That was very nice.
Yeah.
That was.
Christian Horner enters
You know
the
what?
chat.
Yeah.
You know what
Christian
did
Horner
help?
bangs on the door. What are you saying?
You
You're
know
not
what
allowed
did
to
help?
like them.
On the podium, you could see Charles through all the flares because he was just bright yellow.
There's another thing
Yeah.
we were saying last week. We're like, the Tifosi would never bring flares. We
There
take
was
back
a lot of
everything
flares.
we said last week.
Yeah,
Everything.
last week is just scrap that.
Everything.
Didn't
I
help.
saw a TikTok about like some girl had put on. It was like a Scottish girl. I don't know what her name was. And she was talking about how like the seating is in Monza and like getting food is actually quite like you have to go here, you have to go there. But yeah, you have to get tokens, so you don't pay cash or like card at the stalls. You have to get tokens. So even if you want a bottle of water, you have to queue up. And apparently the queues were taking like almost an hour to get your token.
Wow.
And then you then had to re-queue up to use the token to order the food. But they'd put the grandstands were like obviously facing the track. And then they had like this grass verge, and then the stalls were literally there. So everyone was queuing. You couldn't get from the grandstand back to sort of anywhere near sort of the car park. So you're having to go up on this really steep grass verge. And I just think, I'm like, it's a good idea in principle, but it should be sort of like you book a certain amount of tokens
Or
when like, you get your tickets, and then if you need any more, that's when you queue up.
because like how our friend Ian went to Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
We heard about it every day for about
Oh my
6 months
goodness.
prior and 6 months after.
And now, yeah,
But he
every day
got
afterwards.
this wristband, and you would load money onto the wristband, and then you'd pay.
Sort of like
with the wristband.
when you go to Disney, like Disneyland and that lot, they have the wristbands, so you use that, and that's what you use to sort of get onto the rides and get into the park.
So if you want
it's
to do
sort of like
something
that.
that keeps things cashless or like not proper money exchange, have something like that where you can at the beginning say go up, purchase your wristband,
Yeah.
and then you have an app, you scan a code or whatever, and you load money onto it. Call it a day.
But don't be like Ian and lose your phone.
Ian
Oh,
listening
God.
to this right now, like, hang on, why have I been targeted?
How I entered this? What have I done?
What have I done? Okay, so before we move on to F2,
Those things.
you can either have your Monza quickfire quiz before we go on to F2, or we can finish
I'm
off
ready.
F2.
You know
want
how
it?
much I love it. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Fully ready.
Quickfire. You're gonna have 10 seconds for each question. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to confer, or are you going against each other?
No, we go against each other now.
No.
Interesting.
Do you want us to just shoot, or do we like write it down? On
Do you
want
to write it down? Is that going to be easier
yeah.
so you don't keep arguing?
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, this
wait,
is,
I need a pen.
I don't like quizzes.
Do I go 10 seconds or do I give you 5 seconds? I say 5 seconds.
No, because I need to
Oh, no
type it.
time.
Oh, 10 seconds. Yeah,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
to type it. Okay.
Yeah.
How many questions?
5. I did 5.
Okay. Alright, I'm ready.
You got 5
Oh,
questions.
So excited. So excited.
No, I'm scared. I don't like quizzes.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
are you ready? All ready?
Ready.
Everyone listening at home? Also, second hand, big shout out
Yeah,
to
play along.
Oli Swift
Play along.
F1. Big shout. Yeah, let us know if you're watching on the YouTube in the comments. I don't know how it works on Spotify or whatever. If you listen to it on
I don't
Spotify,
think there's
when you get home, go on YouTube and write it in the comments, okay? Big shout out to Oli Swift again. Absolute icon. If you don't follow him on TikTok, go follow him.
Yeah.
I hope we've done you proud.
Yeah.
And I will finish this podcast and probably go and play more in my
do
bed.
more
Yep.
yeah,
That sounded
same.
really wrong. Okay, ready?
Go for it.
Everyone ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Monza held its first Grand Prix in 1950, but who took pole position and did they go on to win the race?
In 1950.
Yep.
I'll piss off.
Did we get 1 point for who won and who?
Yeah.
Okay, I know who won, but I don't
Don't
know
tell me you
who.
know.
No,
this.
one. Who got pole position? Who got pole position and did they win? I'll start your 10 seconds
Wait.
again because Naomi was asking more questions. Who got pole position and did they win the race? You will recognize the name when, you know.
Yeah, I know. I think I know the name. I don't know it about winning. And
Your 10 seconds is over, by the way.
yeah, go on.
Okay. What have you all got?
I just got a name because
Yeah.
I don't know if the pole won winning, but I got Farina. What was it?
Farina won.
Oh,
Nino Farina won.
yeah, but
But,
yeah.
but I
just got
I
the
can't
name.
imagine him starting on
Person-
pole with how the cars were.
The person that I guessed was, I guess, because he had a funny name. And it's only the surname, but it was Fangio.
Wait, so
Pick up
you've gone
Fangio.
Farino, you've gone Fangio. What's
Yeah.
Naomi gone with?
Yeah, I feel like I've gone completely wrong generation. I went Moss because you said name that I know, so I just
Okay.
think I'm wrong with that.
And and did they win the race?
No.
That I don't know.
No.
Farina won the first race. Nino
Okay.
Farina won the first
Nino
race.
Farino
I
did
know
win the
you-
first race, but he did not get pole position. Pole position went to Fangio. Fangio.
Oh.
So Katie gets
I just went
2
for the funny
points.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Do
I was
get
like,
a
who can I
point,
think of that would be that old? And I was going
You
through them.
you
and I
both
was
get
like,
1 point for that.
No,
though?
no.
I'll give 1 point.
Oh,
No.
okay. That's
Okay.
fine.
Which 2 drivers shared the most wins at Monza, and how many wins do they each have?
Coming in with the statistics.
Thank you.
I think I know the name probably.
There's
No, I have
which
no
2
clue.
drivers, and how many? 10 seconds are up.
Podium, she said, right?
Did you get 2
Wins.
points for that then?
Wins.
Oh,
Yes, you get 2
wins.
points again.
I thought.
3. 1 for each driver, and then
I know the names. I don't know.
So,
I think
hang on.
the number.
Which
I know.
which 2 drivers share
Yeah.
the most wins at Monza, and how many wins is it?
All right, let me just count some seasons. And...
This defeats it being quick fire, Celeste.
Okay. Right. So my
10
answer-
seconds.
Okay, so I got Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton as the names,
Yeah.
and then for
Okay.
how many podiums, I would
Podiums. How many wins?
wins.
How many
Sorry.
wins?
say. All right, how many wins? I would go with 15.
Say 50.
Shared.
Shared.
Lord,
Yeah.
Celeste.
Shared.
So
No,
no,
shared.
no. So
each.
individually, individually each.
Oh.
So they have the same
Because
amount.
they have the
as
same
wins.
amount. If they have the same amount of wins, how would they have 15? Like, even if it was shared.
No, but I didn't know they had the same amount.
Which two drivers share the most wins? Meaning they both have the same number wins at Monza.
This is why Oli sits there and he just does it to himself. He doesn't quiz other people.
Yeah.
Listen, you're
Ollie, I'm
laughing
following
at
you
me,
next time.
But I haven't even heard your answer. So just because
Okay,
I
wait.
don't
So
know-
how many wins, Celeste?
Well, then I would go with 6 or 7.
Go on, Katie.
Well, I said 6 because
Not sure, by
this.
the way.
Oh no, I don't know because obviously
She goes 6 and
20
7. By
No,
the
no,
way,
'cause
Katie, when you said
2020
6, it's not true.
I
because
was talking about
my
myself.
only thingy was that if they won, they won the championship, so they won those races. That's what I'm guessing. But Pierre won 2020, and obviously Lewis won that season, so it wouldn't have been that one. So I'm just going 6.
gone. Yeah, so I've gone Lewis and Schumi, but I've said 5 wins each.
Naomi's got it.
I knew that. I did know that.
I said 5
You
and then I
nerd.
changed it to 6.
I did know that.
What? How many
No,
points?
because
am I
I
on?
remember
That's-
I remember when Lewis won, and it was like, oh, he's finally like actually equaled the amount of wins at this track as Schumi.
Jimmy. Yeah. So Michael and Lewis was correct. And it was
Yeah.
5 points.
Alright.
Yep, we.
Okay, so I should get this one right.
Oh god.
I'm going to give you a slight bit of leeway on this. Okay?
Right.
Because it's Sebastian Vettel was voted the youngest ever race winner at the time in Monza. How old was he to the year, month, and day?
What?
I will give you, year you have to get spot on, but I'll give you, a couple months either side, and I'll give you a couple days either side.
Jesus.
Bear in mind, this was a record for a very, 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 very
Yeah.
long time.
Long time. So, okay, I got the year.
I forgot to fucking time it. I forgot to time it. I forgot to time it. Hang on. Okay, you get a little bit extra because I forgot to press the timer.
I'm not going first, by the way, this time. Now anyone else can get the blame for saying stupid numbers.
Okay, 10 seconds are up.
See, I saw I saw
I
a
think I
stat
know
once,
this.
but they said
I think
the year, and then they said how many days he was in the year. So they didn't do it months and then days. They did it like days in the year, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean.
Oh, I'm not going first.
Okay,
I'll go
Naomi.
first.
I think I know.
So he's 18 years old. I said 1 month and 5 days.
All right, Katie, what are you going with?
I don't want to give my answer.
Go on, Katie. Now give your answer.
You could do it.
I didn't. In my head, I didn't think he was that young. But then again,
Oh,
this is me who still thinks that he's over 40 years old when in fact he's 35. So just bear with me with my thinking.
Don't really
So I
shut
said
that.
21, 21 and 246 days.
Hey, can I carry on? Can I show you my
So-
thinking with this?
Wait, should I give my answer?
Go
Yeah.
on, you give your answer.
You give yours, and then I'll give my thinking.
Yeah. So he was definitely 21. I know that. If that's not true,
Really?
I'll leave the podcast. He was 21 years old. So knowing Monza is in September and he's born in July, it has to be like 2 months or something. And then 11 days.
I'm retiring. That's bang on.
Is it?
That's bang on. 21 years, 2 months, and 11 days.
Yeah, because I just came back
God.
from his birthday. I knew for a fact it was 21 years, and then he's
What?
born.
It was Max that broke it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How
He
it
was
was
child.
only by it wasn't by a
No,
lot,
Max
was
is
it?
Max.
No, he was 21 as well, I think.
Yeah, he was 21. It was only by
Really?
I think it was only by like a
20 or
month or
21.
something.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
See, I
He didn't
thought
get the pole one.
he showed up like I feel like it was like a couple of days after his birthday. Like he was just 18, but clearly I was wrong.
No, because I know he's
He
He
born
was.
on
He was.
July
Was he
3rd.
19? No, he must have been 20 when he joined the sport, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a wee child.
19,
Because I
20.
know Monza 2008 was on 14th of September. That's when.
Why
he
do
won
you
it.
know that?
Because I
You called me, and you called me a nerd.
No, look, I only know this because I made a book for Seb when he was in
Oh, yeah,
Sanford,
that's
and I
true.
wrote it in the book, so I checked it a lot of times. So I just counted back to his birthday, and then I came on 2 months and 11 days.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
Naomi,
You know what? For getting it spot on, I'll
you-
give you 2 points. Because
Wait,
then
wait,
it
what?
makes it even playing grounds for
So-
all of you.
Yeah.
Hang on. It's just minimised.
Okay,
It's going to do my 9. So, Seb was obviously 21 years and 73 days. And that was the 2008 Italian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Max broke it at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. And he was 18 years old and 228 days.
Yeah, I was going to
So-
say, because he wasn't 21, because I thought he was 17, but that's when he joined the sport. But he was 18 when he won.
And no one will ever break that record
one
because now
decade.
you have to be 18 to join the sport.
Yeah, you have to be 18.
Yeah.
Unless you're like,
The FIA is
Unbelievably,
protecting
like-
Max Verstappen again. Rah, 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 rah.
Oh,
Seb's still the youngest F1 world champion ever.
and the youngest Paul. Because
Yeah.
Max blew that in Mexico when they already printed all
And-
the shirts. Because he was so sure he was gonna get Paul, and he didn't.
and
And
he's also the person who got the quickest penalty in their Formula 1 career.
Yes.
Oh, that's so
BMW
funny.
Sauber.
That's so
What was
funny.
it, like 9 seconds or something?
I thought it was
Speeding-
5.
Yeah, he was speeding in the pit lane and he was
Kicked off the pit lane and sped.
Yeah.
naughty.
Quickest penalty ever.
Mm.
Okay, question number 4.
Yes.
Oh.
Daniel Ricciardo's victory was the first win for McLaren since 2012 Brazil, but it was also McLaren's first 1-2 since which race? And you can have a point.
Oh.
You can have a
Oh.
you can have a point for the year, and then the circuit.
Wait,
Oh.
say the question again. No, wait, say the.
Daniel Ricciardo's victory was the first win for McLaren since 2012 Brazil, but it was also McLaren's first 1-2 since which race?
I know this one. I'm really bigging myself up, and then it's not actually gonna be.
Do we get extra
Imagine.
point for the drivers?
No, we all know
No.
that.
Can I give my answer first,
but-
just in case I'm good. If I
Yeah,
do
we
get this
all know
wrong,
that,
If I do get this wrong, hang on. I need to get my reaction photo up. I need to get the reaction photo up. Hang on.
She better not be googling it in the process.
No, I swear to God, I'm getting.
She's
I'm getting my
cheating.
reaction
No,
photo.
calling rigged.
She's
Michael
cheating.
Massey on the
Rigged,
phone.
rigged. No, Michael Massey would protect her. That
How
was
dare you?
okay.
Beautiful.
Go on,
No,
go
wait,
on,
wait,
Katie. What's the answer?
No. Put
I
that
said-
in Katie's face.
I
Put that in
said
Katie-
Oh well.
it was the first 1-2 since the 2010 Canadian Grand Prix.
What have you two both gone for?
Yeah, I think that's correct. I got 2010 Canadian.
Oh no, I'm really wrong. I've just.
Because it was.
I think
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 2010. The Grand
Yeah.
Prix.
I still said,
sure.
and I know I could be really wrong with this. I still said the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix.
No, that was.
No,
the
it was
last win.
definitely. It was definitely. a
Yeah, I
different
know,
one,
but
yeah.
that doesn't mean it's not. That doesn't mean it's not a 1-2.
I still think it's. Yeah, I think it was 2010. 2010 Canada.
I'm
It
not
was
sure about
2010
Parc'd.
Canada.
Pick up, Katie.
2010 Canada. And
Yeah.
which drivers was it that got 1-2?
Jensen Button and
boys.
Lewis Hamilton.
Brick Claren. Well,
My
actually, Slack
boys,
Claren.
my boys, my boys, my
The
boys.
For context, I was 6.
Okay,
context,
I
I
was
was 9.
12.
I was 9 as well.
Are you 6 years younger than me?
Oh shit. Oh,
Why is that
damn.
the first time we've realised that? 24 and 18, it makes sense for it to be 6 years, but it's the fact that when you were 6 and I was 12, that's when it deeped it was 6 years.
There's literally the entirety of like secondary school difference between you two.
What year did you go into high school?
Secondary school.
Yeah.
2015.
I finished in 2014.
Oh my god, this is. Wow.
As you can tell, I'm actually the baby of everyone. Yeah.
Go on, say it, Naomi.
This is gone downhill.
Alice is old.
Thanks. Okay, right. The final question here.
Yeah.
Which team ended McLaren's win streak in 1988? So McLaren were winning every single race in the 1980s. Which team at Monza? So McLaren won every race in Monza during the 1980s, but which team
Yeah.
ended that streak in 1988?
1988.
That's a long time back.
The time is going, by the way. 3, 2,
I'm
1.
under pressure.
Whoa.
Okay.
I lose my job.
Alright,
Okay. Naomi, you can go first.
You made me scribble down a name. And I wrote down Jordan, but I think that's wrong.
Katie, what have you gone with?
Fuck it, Ferrari.
What's
Yeah.
Celeste
no.
gone with?
Yeah, I'll back my home team.
It was, in fact, Ferrari.
Yeah.
Legends!
I thought that was going to be too obvious, but clearly I'm
yeah.
I was like, what team was around that time? Oh, fuck it, Ferrari.
It was like 80s, like mid 80s.
That's why I left Celeste till last, because then if Celeste got it wrong, that was going to be quite funny.
The confidence in you.
Is that 1 point?
That is 1 point. How many points did you each get?
So the first question was worth 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 2.
Right, and I got 2.
Which is Fangio and no. The second one was
I
Michael
got
Schumacher.
1.
It was Michael Schumacher
2.
and Lewis Hamilton, and it was 5 wins.
Yeah.
Sebastian
I got-
Vettel was voted as the youngest ever driver
3.
at 21 years old, 2 months and 11 days. Daniel Ricciardo's victory was the first win for McLaren, but McLaren's, last 1-2 was 2010 Canada, and then Ferrari were the team that ended McLaren's win streak in 1988.
3 points,
So wait.
Daniel Ricciardo.
I think it's between me and Katie then.
Wait. So question 4 was worth 2 marks. The Danny Rick.
Yeah.
Oh
One
yeah,
to
you
one.
have one for Canada and one for 2010. Yeah,
Okay, and then the last one was worth
It's
1.
1 point.
yeah, because it's just one team.
7.
Well, I'm out of the running, so.
What?
7.
Oh, I got 7 as well.
Hang on. Let me find an equalizer. Hang on.
Yeah.
It's-
No,
it's Lewis-
I'm quite good at
this is
sitting on
the
7.
Lewis.
We can,
This is the Lewis
we
and Schumi.
No, because Alice is going to come in like Max Verstappen and just leave us both on 7.
In my full commentative voice, you have.
You know what? Monza used to be held at the end of the season because how many world championships have been settled at the Italian Grand Prix since 1950? The most recent was in 1979. So, how many world championships were settled?
Between 50 and 79.
Yep. How many world championships? There has not been a world championship settled at Monza since 1979. So, how many between 1950 and 1979?
Fuck it, 16.
What's Celeste going with?
16 out of 29 years. I don't know.
I'm going with, I think it's maybe less. I say 12.
It is 12.
You got it, didn't you?
That's bang
Fuck's
on
sake.
12.
Oh!
I don't know. Do you have Google open?
No, I'm literally, I was on my calculator just to see that I put like the years right. Look,
You do.
it's calculator and then the F1 app because I wanted to check that map after we got it, and my notes app where I have my answers in. That's it.
Okay, so
That-
Celeste
that's all.
wins
I don't know how. That was
the
literally
Monza
a guess.
quiz.
I have to go lower than Katie and oh.
Interesting. Okay, so keeping it with
Wow.
Monza though, we also had Formula 2 and Formula 3 held there, which both had championship deciders held. Some controversial, some not. Have you not? Oh, Naomi doesn't use TikTok. People believe that the Formula 3 World Championship was controversial.
Well, I get why, but I get why they think that.
Do you want to give an overview as to why they might think that for the people listening?
See, I was so stressed, my brain stopped working. So basically, I was shaking. I'm not even kidding. There was I don't even know who crashed. I can't even remember.
Everyone crashed.
What, in Formula 3?
Everyone
In the last lap?
Your points
I think I wrote
were
it.
Victor versus pressure, amazing race up front in the sprint race
Right.
equals Ollie
Right.
Behrman being so clever. No doubt Edgar would be in the championship fight if he
Should
were
we
fully
get
fit.
to this after we go to F2?
We will go back to F2. Jack's Alpine rumours, question mark.
Right, so Jack's Alpine rumours.
Finished. End of.
Yeah, done. No, to be honest, a lot of people are rumoured for the Alpine seat. So the people who are majorly being looked at, Jack Doohan, Alpine Academy driver, in his rookie year in Formula 2, he is actually driving unbelievably. It's towards the end of the season. It took a bit of time to get into it. We all know you and I are a great team. Virtuosi.
My boys.
Yeah.
They are my boys, by the way, because they're like 20 minutes from me, Gaff, by the way. Just a heads up. Not just because of that. What's that man that drove an IndyCar and bottled it? What's his name? What's his name?
I don't know.
Little.
Huh?
Little? A little.
A little one.
You're not getting it.
My little boy.
No, a double L somewhere.
I was saying a little because it's not I lot.
Oh god. Oh no. Guys, this is the end of the podcast. It's not gonna get any better than this.
Okay. Yeah, carry on. Right. Sorry, Callum.
Yeah, so Jack. So Nick de Vries.
Yeah,
he's been raised as like a big name. Yeah. And I was speaking to some people today, and this person did state Nick de Vries as someone who looked like Pierre Gasly. Gasly. But that really depends on Colton Herta going to AlphaTauri. But the person I spoke to today says they don't think it's going to happen.
With Colton,
yeah.
I think Colton is worthy of an F1 seat. I just don't think he should be handed a super license.
The person said they don't think it's going to happen. Trust me, this person knows what they're talking about. And yes, and then also the other name, which I saw very recently that did weird me out because I just want F1 to let it go, is Hülkenberg.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He's 22nd.
Just let that man go.
He is 22nd in the 2021 championship. Nick de Vries stepped into a Formula 1 car and raced his first Formula 1 race and is 20th. And he could not get a seat. He might not get a seat in F1 because they're going to put Hülkenberg in.
So Nick is top of the list for me. I would say, Pierre. I'm removing Pierre from the list. I'm sorry, Katie, because there is a low chance of that happening. So, yeah, I think I would love to see Doohan in the car. You all know how much I admire Jack Doohan.
The thing is, going by Alpine's history and sort of like the team that it took over from, they don't really like their academy. There's no point in them having an academy.
I agree.
They say, oh, we have academy drivers. Yeah, these are the up-and-coming people of the sport. And then just go, haha, we're going to bring in Alonso.
I think, if Jack doesn't get the Alpine seat now, he may struggle to get it in the future. But I also think, not like he's not ready, because he's proven he can get used to a car quickly.
Yeah.
I think being in Formula 2 for another year, properly fighting for that championship, would do him good.
I think it's better for him to stay another year in F2.
But I think also with that, I don't think you should change team.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick with you and I virtuously.
The thing is,
especially because there's 12 of them. I don't know whether they've hired more, but I know when obviously Callum was there was only 12. There's only 12 team personnel in the entire team.
Formula 2 is small.
Especially when you look at compared to Prema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Prema's an army.
The thing is, with if Doohan actually got the seat and fair play, after the season is fully deserving of it, but he would do one race as a rookie in an F1 car, obviously not do as amazing as Alonso, because he's had however many years in F1, and it'll be the whole he's moved up too early. Yeah, and that will always be, and then he'll go back down and he won't. Couldn't see him coming back up.
Because it's like
Yeah,
when
it's
Yuki joined, a
difficult.
lot of people said that Yuki's gone up too early.
Mm.
I think Yuki
I
Tsunoda
said
has
that
proved.
instantly.
I think Yuki Tsunoda's proved himself since.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
only because he was in a team that allowed him to prove himself again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
Alpine would kick Doohan to the
Mm.
door if he was not competing to the standard that Fernando Alonso
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And I will actually get onto the other like transfer kind of silly season rumors now because I might as well get them out of the way. Another rumor which I heard quite heavily was Marcus Armstrong. He has said in an official press conference that this year is his last year in Formula 2.
Understandably, he's been there
Yeah.
for like 5
Apparently,
years.
Yeah.
apparently he's going to IndyCar to race with Juncos. Obviously, he would have Callum as teammate. We all know they're very good friends. Yeah, I think that would be interesting because Callum and Christian have proved the step up from Formula 2 to IndyCar is quite a good path.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
You know,
So
Callum
it would be interesting.
qualified P2
Oh,
in his rookie year in the team's first year back.
He's the only driver, isn't he, as well, for their team?
yeah,
Yeah.
only.
So he's the
driver.
only one working with like development of a car.
And here I was bragging outside the pub about how proud I was of him because he started P2 and then everything went downhill.
Jeez. And then the other one, which I put in my notes before it was announced.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
saw
there's
that. I was
rumours-
scrolling down. I was like, Felipe. Oh, Felipe. Possibly?
So it was rumored that he was going to become the Aston Martin reserve, and that was like maybe. And at one point in the weekend, he was looking for a toilet in quotation marks, and went into the Aston garage, and instantly everyone was like, "Wait a minute! Like we know these
Wait a
rumors are going on. That's the garage he chooses." And then today, it was announced Felipe Drugovich is going to be the first driver, part of the Aston Martin development program, and he will be the reserve driver while taking on part of the reserve driver duties. He will be hopefully taking part in an Abu Dhabi FP1 in replacement of Lance Stroll, and he will be part of the young drivers test, postseason test in Abu Dhabi, which I think is great.
I think it's great that he's managed to sign on with the team. I do think joining Aston Martin is a bit of a sinkhole.
It really is. I'm honestly not
Purely
happy
on the
about
fact that
this
Aston
at
Martin
all.
will only ever have one available seat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Also,
Fernando Alonso is... Okay, this is going to hit back at conspiracy theory as well, partially. Which we're definitely going to cover.
which we'll get onto.
We're gonna cover a
October.
lot of conspiracy theories in October. So if you have any conspiracy theories you want us to deep dive into regarding
And,
F1, let us know
Let us
down
know.
in the comments. But Fernando Alonso is sticking around for a while. He feels in himself that he is young enough to continue to compete for many years in Formula One. Some people do say conspiracy theory wise that when he got into that mysterious car incident,
Very mysterious.
that he suffered such severe memory loss that he does believe that he is much younger than he actually is. Whether you want to believe that or true or not. But Fernando Alonso will be sticking around in F1 for a long period of time. Lance Stroll will not be leaving Aston Martin anytime soon. So,
No.
is Felipe going to be another Mick Schumacher situation where Mick
think the
is
difficult
holding
thing-
on with Ferrari in a seat that he feels he deserves more than, and obviously is now leaving Ferrari and might not even have a seat? Like, is that going to happen to Felipe? Is he going to hold on, realise he's not going to get the seat, leave, and then not be able to get a seat because it's too late?
I think the
it's
difficult
just
thing
sad. Sorry.
is
Go on.
no, go on.
I think it's just sad to see that the last few seasons of F2, we've seen drivers just not get a seat in F1, or we've seen them get a reserve driver role, which, to be honest, I still think that it's better for a driver to race than to have, so basically race anywhere. I think that's
I
better
completely
than
agree.
Did
being
you
trackside.
Did you see
That's
WTF's
what
one
I-
hot take?
No.
Their WTF1 did a hot take that I thought was quite amusing, is that if you finish P last in F1, you lose your seat.
Yeah, relegation.
I said I think
which
we had a discussion
would
about
work
this.
if the teams were closer. Say if you had like
Yeah.
F2 situation or whatever kind of thing, where like it could be literally any team winning, but obviously you would then just have Williams rotating a driver every single year.
Yeah, it'd also work better when you know that they do it, if that makes sense. Like, we all know who the driver would be that would go down this season, but he wouldn't leave the team because he brings the team so much money.
Yeah.
Like, the team wouldn't let him go down.
Yeah.
I would much rather.
Would these junior drivers want to keep going up into a seat that they're constantly being? You're watching someone get rejected from every year. Like people can then deem that as that's the cursed seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also have drivers like Daniel Ricciardo and Mick Schumacher who take a year to settle into a seat before they start performing to their best ability, which is fine. Everyone does things differently. And, you know, Mick took a year to settle, and then his second year he did incredibly. We've seen it with Daniel Ricciardo. He takes his first year to settle.
Yeah.
And you would never get that second year.
But even then, after that, both of those drivers, I mean, obviously Daniel's lost his, and there's a high chance Mick's going from Haas. You can't win in Formula One. That's all I'm saying. You can't win in terms of seats, and I completely agree with what Celeste was going to say. I would rather say Felipe go to IndyCar, to Formula E, WEC even.
Yeah.
Because we saw how it worked with Callum.
Enjoy it.
Because we saw it work with Callum. Callum left at the end of 2020 Formula 2. He then took a year out as the Ferrari reserve before he then went into IndyCar. He, you know, took a year out, and now he could have had an extra year.
But even then, he did GT World Challenge in that time, and he raced with a Iron Lynx car. Yeah. Was it AF Corsa or Iron Lynx?
Iron Lynx.
Iron Lynx.
I'm number one in the Callum Ilott fan group.
It's true.
I am the owner of it. If you would like to sign up, please. Here is my sign up list.
I'm signing it.
Rejected.
Oh.
How do I leave the call? Where's the leave?
No, not again. No more technical difficulties.
Yeah. So to carry on with Formula 2, it's all my notes are in chronological order and also unhinged.
Yeah, because it's then chaos start to sprint equals Felipe out. He didn't even finish a race this weekend, and he won the championship.
And he won the championship.
That, you know what? In the words of George Russell, consistency is key.
Facts.
In the words of Kate Foreman with the FAA, inconsistency is key.
Like it's so important, especially in things like Formula 2, where you never know what's going to happen. You could be, you could be like Théo Pourchaire and just get punted off, when you're really trying to fight for that championship.
I say we. I already knew the results when I got on the train with Celeste, and she sat on the train watching the F2, right? The sprint race. Yeah. And I'm sat there, trying not to say anything, and I'm giggling at the fact that he won it with 69 points, because immaturity. And I go to Celeste, what lap you on? She goes, last lap, why? And I went, where's Théo Pourchaire? And she went, P last. And I went, okay. And she went, he won the championship, didn't he? And I was like, and she went, yeah, thank you, Alice. And I was like, sorry.
Oops.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know you were going to guess it from me saying that. But he deserved the championship. Théo Pourchaire deserved the championship. He was just unlucky, but Felipe Drugovich deserved that championship as well.
I think Felipe is a good winner for this season. If you look at the season overall, I think he's been very, very good.
What I liked the most is that I went on Twitter and I saw it, and it takes a lot for a driver who's just lost, literally within a couple of hours, just lost a world championship that was his to take as much as the other driver, to go into the opposition's garage and congratulate the driver in front of the mechanics, and for the mechanics of the other team to give you a standing ovation and give you hugs and claps on the back. It's the one thing about sports, regardless of whatever sport I watch, that I hate that they don't show as much, is that drivers do get along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is that there's this whole
Especially-
All you got to do
There's
is
this
watch
whole
Screaming
thing.
Meals.
yeah, there's
That's
this whole
literally what I was gonna
sensualised-
say.
yeah, there's this whole sensualization around making out the drivers hating each other. And it's
Mhm.
just, yeah, in some instances, it's true. After some races, we've seen it before of people getting physical. Like,
You know,
it
yeah.
happens.
Max Verstappen chased Esteban Ocon, you know?
Yeah, it happens, but there are moments as well where it's two people congratulating each other for a sport that they both love. It's just, I think it needs to be shown more, a lot more.
Like Max, Lewis, and George getting all giggly because Nick
Yeah.
finished in the
Oh, that
points.
was
Oh,
so
it was.
Oh, those
I'll
videos
start
of
crying
love.
again. I'll start crying again. Okay, I didn't watch the feature race because, as we stated, we woke up at 9:20. Okay, that's okay.
Just read my
Why
notes,
does it
read my
say
notes.
first lap of feature very bad?
Very bad?
that
It was very
whole
bad.
race.
Hefty
It was
crash
really,
for
really
Teo and Jack being taken out. Was that first lap? Or was that separate? Oh, okay, that was first lap. Yep.
Separate,
Separate?
but this lap was chaos. Like, it was actually chaos. So I did extend on those notes in my notepad. That I've got
Only
here.
14 finishers.
Yeah.
It was absolute chaos.
Penalties,
Yeah.
Lawson and Vips.
There's so much to get through.
Sorry. That
Yeah,
Vips
it's a
penalty
lot.
does make me chuckle.
So this,
Oh my god, that's something.
What was
Okay,
it?
go on.
Did they
We'll
give him a
start
10?
at the beginning.
Was it?
I'm
Sorry, was
one sec. Okay, no,
Okay.
it was
Okay.
beginning.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So first lap of the feature race: Luca Giotto, Teo Pourchaire, Ralph Boschung, and see, I don't know who the third is, but I wanted to say it was Callan Williams, but I can't remember. So don't quote me on that.
Bad.
You didn't even watch it. Shut up.
I was drunk.
And
I
I
really caught
wasn't.
the end of it.
Anyway.
I didn't even
it
enjoy
was,
my
it was
hash
quite bad.
browns.
Oh, heartbreaking.
No, they were bad hash browns.
They were bad hash browns.
Really?
Anyway,
Bad hash
Yeah.
browns?
that was the first bad hash brown I've ever had.
Yeah, they were awful.
The
That's
one Geordie brought me
heartbreaking.
this morning, seeing a common theme here, is I stay in a hotel room and someone brings me McDonald's breakfast. Geordie brought me a hash brown this morning. It was lush. But I only asked for one because I was scared they were going to be like the 4 I ordered the day before.
Yeah.
Thanks. To get back to the racing. Sorry, we're not screaming. Maybe for a second we were screaming meals then, but
Ah!
Ah.
Sorry, carry on.
I was just pure disappointment.
Sorry, the old one's going senile.
Yeah, need to send it to the retirement home. Like,
For everyone's
To the
listening, I
retirement
did
home
warn you
he
guys
goes.
that we were very tired, so this
Um,
one you get them.
to be honest, that's true. Actually, I didn't think about that. We are running on lack of sleep and brain cells.
We're
I
running
got
on
yelled
sleep.
at 1 a.m. because I have to fall asleep to noise, and I was trying to watch TikToks on 1% volume, and Geordie's across the other side of the room going, "Turn it off! I want to sleep. I can't sleep." So I had to lay there staring at the ceiling for 15 minutes, waiting for Geordie to fall asleep. And as soon as I thought he was, I rolled over and went on TikTok and was like, "He hasn't said nothing. Okay, it's fine. It's fine."
I spent my entire night traveling, so I'm dead.
I was sat in my living room drinking.
Shameful.
Disgusting behaviour.
Yeah, so
Who
now
would
I
drink?
accept
Yeah.
that.
Wow,
Teetotal's
okay,
right here.
Youngest of the group, and then-
Teetotal's right here.
Anyway, back to F2.
Racing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jahan wins.
Jahan won. He finally got his own primer. As as the Screaming Meals boys did call it in their last podcast. The boat of a car. Yeah, Prema's not been it this year, which is
No.
a
Shocking.
shame. It's really a shame. We all love Prema here.
Do we?
Because
I don't know who Prema
shut up,
is.
you literally almost cancelled the podcast to watch their videos.
She did. Alice did. Put
I
a
can get
message up in
the
Discord.
Twitter receipts. I can get the Twitter receipts up. Hang
Yeah,
on.
she put up a Discord message and she just said, "I'm cancelling the podcast because I'm watching Prema videos."
And then we all went, yeah, fair.
Yeah, fair point.
Actually, no, you two
Keep
said
going.
yeah, fair, and then Katie comes in saying, "When are we filming? I've had a bad day."
Anyway, bad crash. Rip Teo. He's just not having it at the moment, is
Rip.
he? He's not having a good time.
He is not. He's been very
No.
unlucky.
Yeah, 14 finishes.
Which Fred was on the podium?
Oh no, Alex. This is going to be worse.
Have I missed something?
Were you not here for? Were you gone? Why? How did we got
was
the?
my
She was
bestie.
here.
She remembers.
I remember. Anyway, penalties. Lawson and Vips.
Vips. I want to talk about Vips penalty. That is hilarious.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but that got taken away, by the way.
No, I know, but it's
It's
Also,
about
my-
didn't they make him stop for a 10-second
so
stop and go,
basically-
and then said, "Actually, no, it was actually
And I
going to
went,
be 5 seconds."
Oh my god,
Yeah,
our
basically-
faces in Bat and Ball, we were like, nah.
So I was watching this with Kelsey, right, this race, and he
When?
touched another driver, whatever.
Where was
When-
I?
tell
When
me.
you was eating your hash browns, I
Yeah,
told
were
you, we watched
eating
the
your
end of
hash
it.
browns.
We watched the...
Basically, right, we were watching it, and we were like, oh, that could be a penalty, you know, maybe 5 seconds. If it's not a penalty, fair enough. And then this message comes up, right, you know, the FIA decision message. 10 seconds, stop and go penalty. We're like,
Where
"Do
was
we
that? Like,
miss?" Because that cannot be what we just seen. Because the 10-second stop and go is the harshest penalty you can give, like, next to a disqualification. So
I
we
just
were
thought that they didn't question it. They just said, "Okay, stop for 10 seconds and go."
and
Hang
they
on.
just went in
He
the
did it.
This
He
is
did it.
accurate representation of Celeste and
God.
Kelsey.
Yes, absolutely shocked, right?
Yeah,
And
so
then
that
later that day, we were in Bad and Ball. We watched the F1, whatever. And so I pulled up this FIA document, and it said something like regarding the
administrative
penalty.
error.
An administrative error. It should have been a 5-second time penalty.
Could you imagine though if Eurovips was in
So
contention for the
bad.
World Championship at that point?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Wait,
maybe
I know,
FIA
right.
hired some people for Ferrari or something. I don't know what they've done up there, but that's
No, you're
so
putting her
bad.
hand up. You could tell she's back at uni. She's like, Miss, can I speak?
Miss,
Am I-
I've
Miss.
got something to say.
Sorry, go on.
Bring
Dan.
it on. So this isn't Formula 2 related. This is Formula 3 related.
Oh, we're going there,
as
are we?
we-
Hang on, let me scroll. Okay, I'm here.
Fire in my
as-
room.
So if you don't know, Victor Martins won the championship.
Oh my god, I
um,
didn't know. I hadn't watched it yet. You spoiled
Oh, I
it.
didn't spoil it. Who
Shut
spoiled
up.
that? Kelsey, I think. She just
oh
fully
dear.
went into my face. She was like, "Oh, Bartels won the championship." I was like, "Oh, thanks, thank you."
Yeah. And if you don't know what happened, basically a red flag went out. We waited at least half an hour to see who was champion because they just couldn't figure it out. Wait, did you not know about this?
No, I saw the highlights. Later.
Okay, anyway, I
saw
will
the
get
I
into
got
that
home
in
and
more
watched Kramer
detail.
videos. And
I'll-
ate the other half of my very cold Big Mac that I'd bought 2 hours prior.
I'll get into it in more detail, but one quote really like a lot of people were like, oh, like holy shit, because Victor Martin spoke about, you know, he was scared, and he went, I was really scared I was going to have a Lewis Abu Dhabi situation where I was going to have my championship stolen from me,
Yeah,
and like that's
Stolen.
that's a big statement.
that's a big statement.
Because not only, you know, does that show that, you know, these juniors are looking up and being like, oh my god, like our own like stewards, our own like what's it called, like operative company or however you call it, like thing. Like they can't trust them. Like
Yeah.
and they're admitting that themselves, saying, I could have had that stolen from me. And I think that's big.
Yeah, that
And
is.
I think the FIA not only obviously have lost the trust of the drivers, the fans, they've lost it of the drivers.
Yeah.
Which I just found really interesting. To get on to Formula 3, you just so my first thing I wrote was actually before the race, before the whole race weekend, was that Victor is under big pressure.
Mhm.
And we saw it last year. He doesn't struggle under pressure, but he can make like very quick decisions that aren't always correct. You're right there, Katie.
Sorry, I hit my hand on my desk. I've got this to fly in my room, so I went to hit it and I hit my hand on the desk.
Oh no.
That's what you get for
So
trying to
sorry.
kill a living creature.
Oh, it's a big fucker.
He's under like a lot of pressure, but I mean, he proved himself. Right? Stop being giggling. Fuck.
Pressure Victor Martins.
So yeah, he's just like he was unbelievable. Okay, anyway, I'll get past that one. Amazing race in the front for the sprint. That was probably one of the best races I've watched.
I loved
the
that
whole
race.
year.
That was such a good race. It really was.
So my notes on this. What is wrong with you?
Sorry, go. Go.
What, have you said something?
No, it's just dying.
I just hope the driver's super emotional damages. It just sent me off.
I honestly, if you waited through that, I wanted to sue you for emotional damages. Like, what the fuck? So my notes on this is Oliver Beeman was clever. He is such a clever kid.
Yeah,
he's such a big future. I can't. I've got a massive like note on that because
I feel like if he's
such
already
a good
doing
kid.
this as a rookie, like thinking so sharp as a driver, he can go so far when he learns to like get through the series.
I think like I put I put a twist out.
I hate it when I put a twit
Twit.
out.
Oh,
Almost
God,
as
not
bad as when I
twit.
get a tit out, but you know.
I did. To be fair, I did see a TikTok of Oli Beerman, and it was like, it was just a compilation of him just giving hugs.
Hugging. I know.
Yeah.
You know what I call
And
it? You know what I
he
call
seems
it?
to give the sweetest hugs.
You know what I call it? An Oliver Bear hug.
Yeah.
Bearman. It's an Oliver Bear hug.
You should be deleted
Anyway.
from this call.
Alright, old lady.
The most depressing day was when Jack Hughes left, because now I'm older than all of them.
Jake
Oh,
Hughes.
that's depressing.
Jake Hughes.
Jesus.
Jake Hughes.
Jake Hughes is lovely, and I'll never accept any slander against him anyway.
No. You called him Jack.
Did she say Jack again? Oh, she did not say Jack. I didn't
I
even
swear
hear
I
it.
said Jake.
I
You
thought she said
didn't.
Jake.
Fuck's sake.
Editing, Alice. You'll now realise the mistake you've made, and I hope you apologise. Yeah, Johnny Edgar is fucking unbelievable. Like, he's such a good driver. We saw him up front racing with Oliver Behrman. I think it wasn't Maloney. I'm not sure who was leading the race.
It was Money at one point, but I think he binned it at
Yeah,
one point
but-
as well.
Probably.
Not the only other driver that binned it this weekend.
No, there was a lot of weird as hell stuff going on in F3.
I wasn't even talking about F3.
No, I don't.
Oh,
up.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
gonna have to message him in a minute and be like, I'm really sorry for everything I've said.
Yeah. Just skip this
Right.
one. Go through episode.
Anyway,
2,
Edgar.
please.
No, Edgar's good. If he didn't have his issues, unfortunately, halfway through the season with Crohn's disease, I reckon he'd be fine for the championship. Next bullet point.
Hadjar, dreadful
Isaac Hadjar.
luck. Hadjar, dreadful
Jeez.
luck.
Hadjar.
Hadjar.
You said yeah, but then you went Hadjar.
Yes, because you said his name again, so I was emphasising everything in his name. Hadjar. Hadjar.
Hadjar.
So Isaac.
Like a badger. Isaac Hadjar.
Should I call him Badger?
Yeah, you went Hadjar. It's fine. Badger. Anyway.
There is a new honey badger on the block.
He had probably one of the worst. He had probably one of the worst weekends ever, and it came at such a dreadful time because he had his qualifying crash, which was a carbon copy of Ayumu's Iwasa's crash. Also mentioned that was bad. I was very scared because fire. Anyway.
What was Fireman say to her
We're
at this
really about
moment?
to set the space on fire.
Boygo. Yes. What did I write next?
Martins and Leclerc.
So
Right,
I think
do we want
I rate these two.
Martins and
I
who?
don't know if I want to get into that.
No, right. No, I really like Arthur Leclerc, but they are both drivers who are such on the limit.
They are.
Arthur Leclerc.
Well, the thing is
and
with Arthur,
Martins.
right?
I thought you said his name wrong, so I was just confirming.
No, but they're so on the limit always. When they come
Yeah.
together on track, when they're sharing a piece of tarmac,
Mm-hmm.
they clash. Because
Yeah, I
they
feel they're like the perfect, but sort of the rookie that they're like the
But even
most
then, they're not
rookie of out
rookies.
of the rookies.
Yeah,
As
they're
in
not
they
rookies.
make the rookie mistake. No, they're not rookies, but as in they make these rookie mistakes.
Yeah.
They either make the most beautiful overtake you've ever seen, because I've seen Arthur and the Martins as well.
Yeah.
Overtakes I've never seen like an F1 driver even try to do. But then on the other hand, there's these overtakes that are just stupid,
The other hand,
and
they're
they just
idiots.
crush the whole field out.
They're
It's
idiots.
just there's no in between.
And I rate both drivers so
I love
highly.
them. Yeah, absolutely. But
get it together.
yeah.
Okay,
Really.
I get it. I will. Sorry, mummy.
Mummy?
Mummy?
No, I was going to make a joke. No. Carry on, move on. Alice knows what I was going to say, so we need to move on.
Not only
Right.
Carry
does
on.
Formula 3 come with a sprint race, it comes with a feature race.
And the feature was bloody amazing. But stressful, but amazing.
Yeah, you just say feature race is so damn stressful. The damn wait for... You said damn a lot here. The damn wait for results
I was
being
stressed.
ridiculous. No one should have to wait that long. It's a separate bullet point.
Yeah, read the next one.
Hope the driver sue for emotional damage. Emotional
better.
damage. Emotional damage.
Those
Victor
poor
is
drivers.
Victor is such a worthy champion. He deserves it so much after what he's been through. Oli Behrman is incredible, and I hope he remembers that. He's so young and so talented, and he will be big someday.
So,
Did you just call him short? What are
He's
you
a
crying
child.
at?
Nothing.
Either way,
Anyway, yeah.
F3, in all of its chaos, delivered a chaotic ending.
Yes. Honestly, I think Victor Mines is unbelievable, and you saw how much it meant to him
Yeah.
in his
really did.
post-race interview. He was
Love
crying
to
if you
see.
didn't see.
Mm.
And then also something he mentioned in the post-race interview, and me and one of our friends Nicole mentioned, he did that after one of his really close friends. You know, if you don't know, him and Antoine Hubert were very close friends in the Renault Academy at the same time, both being French drivers.
Victor Martins is French.
And Martin's, yes.
Yeah, he's French.
Thought he was Australian.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Okay.
What was I going to say? You put me off. I dare you.
Victor Martins is French.
He truly is. Yes,
And in the
Victor
Alpine
Martin's
Academy.
French. Yes. No, well, yes. And basically, if you don't know, he got dropped from the Renault Academy.
They always drop the best ones.
After a year.
Long live Max Future.
Oh god.
So he got dropped for a year, and he realized, like, no, I need to get myself back into this team. He did the season of his life, and got himself back into the team. And he's now won this championship a couple of years after Antoine, with ART, and the whole time when they were filming him on the pit wall, basically we had over half an hour wait to see who won, due to the fact that the red flag went out after a safety car came out. So they're all backed up, safety car. And then while in, like, after the red flag, they went, oh, Victor Martins has a 5-second penalty
I was.
for track limits. And everyone was like, oh no. Because if you go back to the lap before the red flag, it's under the safety car.
Yeah, so they're all bunched up.
Oh, so he would have gone to the back of the grid.
Yeah, a 5-second penalty would.
Oh.
So this is why it's controversial.
Yeah.
But I don't believe it is. I think what's happened was correct. I think they dealt with it the best way they could.
Yeah.
Um, and so they went back to 2 laps, which was before the safety car went out.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily that was enough for him to be crowned champion. But during that wait, during the half an hour wait, he was stood on the pit wall with his team, and just the whole time you could constantly see Antoine's star, and you saw his
Yeah.
number 19, and me and Nicole mentioned it, and you just knew like it was gonna mean a lot, and I was
Yeah.
just really hoping it was gonna be him, and it happened, and he, Antoine would be so proud of Victor. He would be, because he's just an incredible driver, and I can't wait to see what he does next.
I can't wait to see him sort of grow as a driver and like get these
absolutely.
rookie things out of him, because I think he could be
Yes.
absolutely incredible.
Exactly, so much potential.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he can do. And another person I can't wait to see what he can do is Oliver Beerman. And poor Ollie, I felt Ollie's a very young driver. It's his first year in Formula 3. Last year, he was the first person ever to win German F4 and Italian F4 in the same season.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's English, right?
But yes, he's English.
Yeah.
It's his first year in Formula 3. He's been fighting up the top the whole time, basically. And he races almost like he's like got years of experience.
Yeah.
But he's unbelievable.
So smart
and
as a driver.
bless his heart, he was very upset after what happened on Sunday. Obviously, we mentioned about him going around hugging everyone. He had a little bit of a cry, bless him. And you can't help but feel bad for this kid, because
Is he?
I think a lot of
he's
us.
Ferrari Driving Academy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people.
That is one of the videos.
I'll get onto that.
Yeah,
I'll get onto that. He's a very young driver, and I think a lot of us forget how young these drivers are, and not just us.
Yeah.
I mean, like team members,
As
because
well.
the video that Katie's on about is during the red flag period. He was stood with, I think it was the head of the academy, and he was shouting at him. And he was having a full-on go at Oliver Beerman. And
there's also another
I
video.
said this.
Carry on, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you carry on.
Okay. I'm interested though. I do want to hear this. And bless him, you could tell, like it's not a good time to shout at a child during a red flag period. It's just not right, He's a young driver, and I don't know whether it just got a bit too much for him.
Why can I hear a bell?
Do you live by a clock?
Yeah, it's my clock tower.
Okay.
It's 12 o'clock for me, so the clock tower goes on.
Happy midnight. Happy Tuesday, my dude.
Thank you.
But yeah, so, but he was very upset. But I think he felt very hard done by Zane Maloney that whole race. He believed that he was pushed off track.
Yeah.
He believed, and whether you agree with him or not, it's your own opinion. But he's very young. But I think he has such a future ahead of him. I think he could genuinely be top runner in Formula 1.
Yeah, no, he is a smart.
And I don't say that lightly. And I said when we were in Spoons in Victoria Station, talking about who we think could actually get to F1 from the feeder series, I mentioned Oliver Beerman because he's unbelievable. Katie, what was the video you saw?
So it was like to do with the hugs, but there was like a video of him, I believe it was his dad, and he was like sat down on like what I'd call like the central reservation, like they obviously have it out in the back of the paddock, and he was sat down on there, and his dad was like fully like just giving him a hug, and it was just quite nice to see that he has some sort of support there for when he's running bad. But then there was also another one where he was he was just walking through, and it was a Ferrari member, and it was definitely a Ferrari member. It wasn't a driving academy person in the yellow and the black top. Walked up to him and just pulled him in for a hug. And I thought, everyone takes the piss out of Ferrari. Everyone takes the piss out of the fact that like they're not doing as well this season as what they thought. But it seems that this person in particular was actually sort of taking the time out to go, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just
you're
I think
not
this
referee,
is-
that
it's your
hates their
first season.
drivers.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's a really, this is something like I want to look into a lot, and I believe that each of the feeder series paddocks needs to have some sort of counsellor
Mm.
there,
Yeah.
just for the drivers to have someone to go through. Not even just the drivers, the team members,
Everyone.
because
It would probably
the
save
pressure
Esteban
you're
Ocon from getting punched
under.
next time.
Yeah, the pressure you are under is unbelievable, and especially with a lot of the things that these kids have gone through, it's a lot of sacrifices they're making. They see a lot of bad things. You know, they watch some of their closest friends get into bad accidents, and
Yeah.
I think sometimes these kids just need someone to talk to. And I'm sure a lot of them have sports psychologists, which we're seeing more and more. But I think it's so important in the feeder series paddocks, especially like there is still a taboo about mental health in motorsport. There is. There's no argument about it. And I think it would be good just for each feeder series paddock, even each paddock, just to have a counsellor, because even then, like within the teams, an engineer now and again will maybe mess up a pit stop, and it'll cost this, their driver maybe a win, or even sometimes championships. And the pressure that's on those mechanics just to maybe be like, oh my God, I've done that. That's my fault. And I think it would be important for them to have someone to talk to and be like, just someone who's specialized in this kind of thing.
Well, yeah, because you had
Because it's tough.
when obviously Max Chichel left Formula 3, he took a step away, and everyone was
Oh my
like,
God, absolutely.
everyone was like, why have you left? Why have you left? And he was like, personal reasons, personal reasons. For a long time, he's like, personal reasons. People were like, oh, it's just because you're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. And then he actually came forward and said, no, the reason I stopped competing in Formula 3 was for my mental health. He was like, because it was taking such a negative toll. I was correct the first time. Negative toll on my mental health that I cannot race, and it's not sensible for me to race. And I think if he had support along the way, like that even prevented him from getting into that such bad mindset that it was being horrific for his anxiety, then it would have had a completely different outcome. He would probably still be racing. He loves racing. And the fact that he had to stop the one thing he loves because of his mental health, because there's not enough support for mental health, says a lot.
I think that was such a big step in terms of mental health in the sport. That moment kind of made a lot of people like wake up and be like, oh shit. Like, I mean, obviously not only was it just the racing, but a lot of things that happened in the previous year with Max, obviously Antoine and everything. Even after that, like a lot of people just didn't get the support they needed. And another article which I've read once and I don't think I could read it again, but it's such a beautiful article, is Pierre Gasly's Player Tribune. And
I've read this.
You're gonna make her cry.
I'm gonna bloody cry. He talks about obviously his experiences with that, and it's unbelievable. Like that guy, the strength of these drivers mentally, and even if they do admit their weakness, they're still so strong. They see these things, and some people think it's normalized. People say, oh, the dangerous part of it. You don't, in your mental terms, it's difficult. And I spoke to personally, I didn't ask this question. One of my someone in my course spoke to Laura Winter today. So Laura Winter, if you don't know, is a Formula One presenter. She does lots of things for F1 TV, and she also does post-race interviews for Formula 2 and Formula 3. She was talking about kind of how you deal with difficult situations. Her first weekend in the F1 paddock was Spa in 2019, working in the pit lane in Formula 2. And she said she was stood next to Charouz. She stood next to Juan Manuel's team as they're trying to get him on the radio. And she said there was that moment she'll never go back from, because that was the moment you go, okay, yeah, this is
Yeah.
And And she says, like, even now, like, I can't understand how people can do this sometimes. Especially with Roman, like Roman getting back into his car after his dreadful accident.
Mm.
Unbelievable. And I think, even for the fans, I know it affects us here definitely. It plays on our mind, definitely. But yeah.
Someone's mental health I am kind of concerned for following this weekend now is Victor Martins. After all I had to do was spend 2 hours on TikTok today for enough that if I was Victor Martins, I would go into a mental health crisis. It's okay to believe and feel pain for your driver for not winning a championship because of how the FIA has dealt with something. Trust me, I've been there. It is okay, but it is not okay to attack another driver when all they did was go out and drive. Yes. You saying that Victor Martins does not deserve his championship when he raced the entire year for his championship is not okay. You saying that Oli deserves it. You can believe that Oli deserves it more. He deserved to win the championship, and you can believe that he was robbed of the championship. But you also have to remember that what you're posting online will always come back. They will see that all he has to do is go on TikTok. You're hashtagging his name in it. If you don't think for a second that drivers don't search their names, they do. They will search their names because they want to see things. And he's probably hoping, I can go on TikTok and I can't wait to see people excited for my win. And just being greeted with people saying that he doesn't deserve it is going to put him into a sinkhole. And hopefully he recognises and understands that he deserved that championship as much as Oli did as well. And that they were both deserving champions and that he should be proud that he won the championship. But I do hope that he is taking time for his own mental well-being now as well. Because people online can be horrible. And
I think mental health is such, especially after last year. I think, obviously, last year was a big thing as well with I hate to say, the cursed word of Abu Dhabi, but the strength that Lewis had, and we talked about it today in my talks, is just unbelievable. But he's such a class man.
He got so much hate. He got so much hate for not attending an award ceremony after he received some of the worst mental health backlash of his entire life. If I received that much hatred for something that I could not control and that was controlled by somebody else, while also dealing with the damage and hurt because of a decision from somebody else, you would not catch me dead at an event they had put on. And he was right to take time off of social media, take his time out of the public eye, to sit back and reflect on how he's feeling emotionally and focus on himself emotionally and rebuild himself into a better mental place. And that should be applauded. And, I think drivers should start taking their own mental well-being into health more. And I think FIA should be more supportive of that. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know what teams could have personnel, mental health personnel.
McLaren do. So McLaren is sponsored by Mind, if you don't know. And
trust me, I know. Thank you, Mind, for supporting my therapy. That's how I receive therapy.
Mind. Yes, icons. Lando is quite open about his mental health, and I think it's good for a young driver like Lando to talk about it as well. And Lando has all the young drivers on his side, all the young fans on his side. I think, I mean, for myself, the first, other than Lewis, Sebastian, the first person I knew going into F1 was Lando. So having someone say, yeah, I struggle. I struggle with my own mental health, and sometimes you can see it, but having someone say, I struggle, a lot of people struggle, and that's okay. Get support if you can access it, because difference it makes is unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think we as a community, we as the fans, should be open to drivers saying that, because I've read a lot of things on the internet when drivers do speak up and say, you know, I struggle, or Lewis saying he really struggled to get out of that car in Abu Dhabi. Like he said, I just had to pull myself out of the car. And then people backlashing him and giving him all kinds of comments. Like, he's still a person. They're still persons. They still deal with so much. And I think we as a community and we as the fans should be open for them to come forward and to, you know, bring more, how do you say that? Like, more clarity sort of through mental health and more ways to, talk about it.
Not like it's a similar situation, but if you don't follow MotoGP, you won't know about this. But there was this amazing guy, Casey Stoner. There is this amazing guy, Casey's a legend. And he's champion. He's got multiple championships. He retired due to his mental health because he loved riding, but he couldn't deal with the media because he got such bad anxiety from it. And of course, mental health and discussions like that, they're not as common in MotoGP. You don't get it.
All right. Yeah.
But it's so serious, but a lot of people don't want to talk about it, and it's something I want to talk about because I think it deserves to be talked about. But Casey stopped because he suffered such severe anxiety that he could not carry on. And he said, I can't remember if it was him or someone else said that it would get to the point where he wouldn't even care about the risks he was taking because, you know, with mental health and being in such a dangerous sport, it's dangerous itself. But luckily Casey's with us today. He's amazing and he's still supporting a lot of riders in that terms as well. Like last year with Francesco Bagnaia, Pecco, he supported Pecco through his championship fight, and when he lost, he still supported him. And I think that support is necessary.
In the feeder series for like the touring cars and stuff, that the mental health toll it takes on 15-year-old kids and like 16-year-old kids,
Absolutely.
like it forces people like just into going to therapy at like 16 years old. The contemplation of having to go on to antidepressants because he's basically been told like this whole season by a coach or something that he's like a waste of space, that he doesn't deserve to race. And you people just they don't think of the consequences that it has on
Trust me,
15,
when it
16-year-old
comes
kids.
from your coach, it's 20 times worse than when it comes from
Yeah.
anyone
And
else.
I think people like that shouldn't, there's, sometimes, people say, hard love's good sometimes. It pushes you. And it can push you, but it can also fucking wreck you.
It's such
All you
a
have to do is
fine
watch Dance
line.
Mums for one season.
Yeah.
And that is proof enough
But-
that tough love will only get you so far.
Next week, we have MotoGP in Aragon, which will be interesting. There is the consideration, Mr. Marquez, Anto Servia, King of the Ring, King Kurta, may be back. Maybe. But we're not
Enough
sure
for
yet.
Katie.
My money don't jiggle. It falls.
It
I like
falls. I like to see
Anyway.
where it goes.
And NASCAR are continuing the playoffs, if I'm correct, Celeste.
Yeah.
In
Playoffs are still
Bristol.
Crystal, yeah.
In dirt track, is it?
I don't know.
Are they doing?
Bristol's
I didn't keep up, to be honest.
Stop
But
smiling, bitch.
if they do the Bristol dirt track, that's going to be very interesting.
Let's have a look in
playoffs.
one of our things because we may be able to get some information from a certain post.
So we were going to cover IndyCar, but we got really sidetracked with about 7,500 other things. So we decided it's probably best that next weekend, seeing as there's no F1, that we will do the Indy roundup of the season, discuss the championship winner, discuss all the highs and lows of Indy. But we hope you enjoyed your little Monza review, your little Monza get down, and all its chaos, the sleep deprived. Thank you guys for joining us once again. Make sure you are following us on all social medias, Instagram, Twitter, both and TikTok all parkfem _. Make sure you are following our YouTube parkfem, and you can also listen on Spotify, Google, and Apple. So make sure you've saved it. Make sure you rate us. Rate us 5 out of 5 because we
Five
are.
out of five.
We gave you chaos today.
We are.
We
We
gave you
are.
a lot of things.
You got everything thrown at you
You
today.
got everything today.
You had the roller coaster of
Literally.
If you
I
thought the Monza
cried.
was chaotic.
I cried for you.
Oh god.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Anyway.
Love to you all.
Love you
Goodbye.
lots. Bye.
Good night.